Dun 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 dun. Peak fiction. Dun 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 dun. Let's go, y'all. Let's go, boys. Let's go, man. I have been waiting all week. Every single day, man. I was told on Monday, pre-Monday Night Raw, ladies and gentlemen, pre-Monday Night, look, I'm already knocking over the tripod. Pre-Monday Night Raw, I was told, Recon, this is a code, get out of here, SpongeBob. You know what I'm saying? We're not even attaching a color to this. I received, for this week's chapter, the most social media, get off social media requests that I have gotten, I think, since, like, the Egghead intermission chapters. It has been so long, because I don't even think I got this many for the mural, which was the last time I got this many. This was insane. This was actually insane. Like, I don't even know what to expect. It's insane. I genuinely don't know. And the thing is, I'm sitting here losing my mind, and so is the chat, because holy sweet mother of flag nards! What is going on? What is happening? Why is there so much on top? Oh, bro, what is happening? Where's the camera? Where's the camera? Bro, what in the world is going on? Hold on, dude. I gotta turn on the camera, man. Y'all don't understand. Are y'all seeing what I'm seeing? Bro! Is this it? The camera. Bro. Well, first and foremost, appreciate the Ippo shirt. Y'all see the Ippo shirt, bro? That's my God! Because we're here! We are here for some pink! Are y'all seeing what I'm seeing? I look pretty good today, y'all. Y'all see the fresh cut? You know what I'm saying? Bro, what am I looking at? What in all of the flagnards am I looking at? Dog. I don't think I've ever seen this many memberships pre-stream. What is going on? I don't think I've ever seen this many supers pre-stream either, bro. We just turned the thing. My God. I'm terrified. Screw the thing. I'm putting this down before I start knocking stuff over. I'm terrified. Now I'm really scared. Oh, man. So... So, I was told that because this is super code Alpha 9 or Delta, that it would be best to get right into the thick of things. It would be best to get right into the chapter. But before we do that, holy flagnards, y'all. What are we doing? Like, bro. Let me just read off the memberships. Sweet mother of flagnards. Ryan Ashfire comes in and gives 10 memberships, right? 10 right off the bat. Don't even know. This thing says Ryan Ashfire donated 10 memberships at 12:30 p.m. Do y'all know what I was doing at 12:30 p.m.? I was mid-shift. putting in work at my job. The God hand of flipping finance. Oh my God, bro! This chapter is nuts. This chapter is more nuts than I was anticipating. Because what's happening in this chat right now, bro? What is going on? Holy sweet mother of flag darts! Oh my God, bro, dude. Ryan Ashfire putting in work at 12:30 p.m. True Roofers donated $1 at 1:25 p.m. What is going on? Double E Giuliani posted a 2 at 3:05 p.m. Bro, Yo! What is going on, dude? Sweet mother of flagler. And then we go in. Alan Turing, one of the Gorosei, aka Joaquin. Shout out to Joaquin. Joaquin, as they would say in my language. Alan Turing comes in with not 50 gifted memberships, not 100 gifted memberships. The brother, I think, came in with like 150 flipping gifted memberships. What are we doing? What are we doing? Hello? 150? Alan Turing? Dude. Dude. This man unloaded. This dude poured it all out. Left nothing to be left up for the imagination. Sweet flipping flagnards. And then right after Alan Turing, aka Joaquin, comes in with a 150, we got the God hand of finance with 50 more. How many is that? 210 gifted memberships. And we're 18 minutes into the stream. Dog, what are we about to read, bro? What are we about to read? Because the thing is, I've been thinking the entire week, bro. The entire week, I've been losing my mind. Because the thing is, when it's this bad, and on Monday, I'm being told by literally everyone, bro, you need to escape the premises. I have had Twitter and Instagram. I mean, it's just you have to get those things off. Especially Twitter in my case, because I don't really use Instagram like that. But Twitter specifically, you gotta execute that thing, man. You have to execute it. And so I have been living zero dark 30. I haven't looked at my YouTube homepage in 5 days because of how terrified I've been for getting spoiled in this chapter. So, after all of that discipline, we are here for a 100% spoiler-free experience, and I can't wait. Because, bro, where we left off last chapter, I remember talking to my cousin at the end of last week, and I was like, bro, what in the world are we about to be in for? And then he was the very same person who hit me up with like 500 different stickers back to back, letting me know I am in for some flipping peak, bro. He even used my own videos on me. You know what it is for a family member to message you with your own Goat Raw Fire Peak meme? What am I in for? I don't know what to do, man. Oh my god. Alright. Let's read the supers. and or at least the rest of the supers, and then we're gonna get into the chapter. Josh Pointer goes with a 5, says, Code Blue, I repeat, Code Blue. I genuinely can't believe what happened in this chapter. Prepare for a long stream. Final Saga Oda. Nothing more needs to be said. All caps Josh Pointer. We already know where Prison Peak. Akash Panda comes in with a 2. And says, TCB ads spoiled the chapter. I've sent a Kubari link. So Akash Panda, I spoke to him before the stream started. And he told me that in the TCB version of the chapter, apparently, there's spoilers up as ads, which is the most sickening thing I've ever heard. But he did provide this Kubari link. Now, I've never used Kubari, so hopefully I'm not getting bombarded by other advertisements, but we'll take that over getting spoiled any day of the week. So I appreciate you, Akash Panda, so much for providing that link and for looking out for your boy, man. Because, bro, if I would have gotten spoiled by an ad, TCB would have had to see me. And I love TCB. Those are my boys. Those are my dogs, man. That's family. You know what I'm saying? That's family. But if they would have spoiled me, I would have thrown hands. There's no doubt. I would have thrown hands. No question. And they're the ones that normally keep me out of getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So, appreciate you, Akash Panda. JD Double Dubs! JD Double Dubs! I didn't even see this! 50 gifted membership, JD Double Dubs! 260 gifted. Dog, how many flipping memberships are we gonna put out today? JD Double Dubs with another 50 gifted. The whole Gorosei's here today. The whole flipping Gorosei. What is going on? Holy flagnards! Yo! Dog, I appreciate y'all so much, man. Lord Almighty, JD Double Dubs, Alan Turing, and the Godhead of Finance. Y'all are insane. Legit. And then JD Double Dubs follows that up with a $5 super that says, left side, right side, let your fangs poke out, pa pa pa. Haha, you are king. So I'm going to assume I'm not going to appreciate this, just like last week's super, until I read the chapter. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you mean by that, because I am so perplexed. First thing I thought I was just a pa 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 was like flipping Scratch Man Apu, but that makes 0 sense. That makes 0 sense. So I appreciate you, JD Double Dubs. Thank you so much for the 50 gifted as well as the $5 Superman. I really do appreciate you, brother. Holy sweet mother of flagnards. So then we have an anonymous, and we have a membership from an anonymous individual. I've never had that before. What the heck? Anonymous? Anonymous comes to membership for 20 months and says message retracted. They were taken out. My God, what did they say? Holy flaggers, they were taken out. They were executed for what they said. Anonymous membership message retracted. Lord Almighty. We're starting to delete people on my stream. What is going on? Then we got Frodo Baggage comes in with a 10. It says, we used to pray for chapters like these. Quadruple check the carpet. That's a flipping... Bro, I've been working all day, bro. I literally just got home. So you know what? Carpet, not that bad. I vacuumed it early this week. Carpet, summer, not that bad. Now, if we get there should be no clumps like there was during that once... Actually, this is the 100 chapter anniversary of Divine Departure. That was 1079. The legendary Carpet Hair chapter, right? That was the Carpet Hair chapter, right? That's actually nuts. It's been 100 chapters since then? Dang, dude. First thing I think of every time I think of the flipping Carpet Hair. But yeah, the carpet should be good. Carpet should be good. Goat Raw Fire is an understatement. For the baggage, I'm not ready, man. I most certainly am not ready. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Frodo Baggage, for the 10 And then we have, once again, a huge shout out to Alan Turing for all those crazy memberships. Then we got my boy, Northside with a Z, who comes in with a 20 and says, chapter of the series. Chapter of the series? Conchole, man. I'm about to have me speaking Spanish up in here, bro. And that's my boy Northside with a Z, man. He knows me, and I know him. He knows me, brother. That's my guy. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, Northside. Oh, Lexi D Sunflower, because membership for 36 months. Shout out to 3 years. Appreciate you so much, Lexi. 3 years of greatness. I wouldn't miss this one for the World King. Ooh. I can't wait. I can't flipping wait. And then, I know that's not who I think it is. I know that's not who I think it is. Oh my god. Now I'm scared. I can't believe this was hidden in the midst of the memberships. We got a $100 super chat from Instant Messenger Sama. I'm going to repeat this one more time. The individual. You want to talk about somebody who shows up on stream similar to True Roofers when it's a peak chapter? Instant Messenger Sama comes in with a $100 super chat, bro. Oh, I'm terrified. Mother of God. Bro, I don't know what to do, man. Instant Messenger Sama comes in with a 100 euros and says, it's that time, my dudes. Yes, Lord. Instant Messenger Sama, man. I'm scared. Yeah, remember that one SpongeBob episode? Marty, I'm scared. That's me, bro. That's me, dude. Yo, Instant Messenger Sama on the most serious of notes. Thank you so much for taking time. Because I know you live all the way in the Flagnar. It's probably like 5 o'clock in the morning where you are. So I really do appreciate you stopping by, man, as always. CR Simba comes in with a 10. It's his first time I get to catch a live reaction. Love to see your passion, love for a series that holds so near and dear. Thanks for the content, King. Thank you, CR Simba. I really do appreciate you for the kind words. It's always fun, especially during weeks like this. Now that you bring that up, CR Simba, every time when it's like tradition for me, when I have these get off social media weeks that are like hardcore, and I'm talking about like the mural week, what was before that, like Divine Departure, I think it was. And there was a few during that Egghead stretch that I remember getting some. Obviously in Wano, quite a few. But every time that those come around, I always like to go back to where we started the journey, just to ground myself. And this week I did a good old reread of the end of Punk Hazard and the beginning of Dressrosa. That's where we started the channel. Just to remind myself of where we came from, what we used to look forward to back then as fans, and just to see where we've come to now. And it was just a great reminder of how blessed we are to be a part of this community and to have been a part of it for so long. And so I really do appreciate your kind words, man. You have no idea. And I can't wait to see what we have in store this week. Alan Turing then comes to membership for 44 months, and it comes in with 4 Santa hats. I try to find them, man. They're in the Flagnards, bro. I don't know. I can't find them, man. I haven't seen the Santa hats since I tossed them during a Rocks chapter. That was a long time. That was last year. I don't know where they are, man. So they're in the Flagnards. I did manage to find the jersey. So we got the jersey on standby just in case. After having not found that for several weeks. But Lord knows where the flipping Flagnards are. So I appreciate you so much for that. Hi Duzzy comes from membership for 34 months. I appreciate you, Hi Duzzy. Thank you so much for that. And then Northside with a Z comes in with a 10 to skip the title. We will be skipping the title this week. I was told an executive decision from multiple individuals who have reached out over the course of the last, I want to say like 48 hours of like, this week, executive decision, skip the title. So I was already going to do that anyway. As a matter of fact, the link that Akash Panda set up specifically for this chapter reaction removes and or skips directly into the chapter itself by skipping the title. So number one, I really do appreciate Akash Panda for going out of his way to do that. But number two, that's how I knew we needed to skip the title this week. So we will be skipping the title this week. There's no doubt about that. So thank you so much, Northside. Super Scorpio comes in with a 10 and says, do not read the chapter title, strap your seatbelt, trust me. We will not be reading the chapter title. As a matter of fact, the link that I have that was sent to me will not allow me to read the chapter title. So that's a wonderful, wonderful thing to see. Strap your seatbelt. I mean, we don't have a seatbelt here, unfortunately, but we shall see. we shall see. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for that, Super Scorpio. This flipping Flagnards, man. Yo, I'm terrified. I don't even know what to do, man. And once again, I really do apologize if I miss out on anybody's things. I have so many messages here on screen that if some of them start blending together, I greatly apologize. So if I miss a super, if I miss a membership message, I hope you all understand. RGRM comes membership for 35 months, almost 3 years, and says, no need to poll, coach, skip the title. Oh yeah, we're definitely doing that this week. No poll. Executive decision done by Gorosei / Akash Panda / myself. You know what I'm saying? So we will definitely be doing that. Then, I didn't even see this. Regine Thomas comes in with a 20 gifted memberships. Bro, what is that? 20? 280 gifted memberships. Ugh. What are y'all doing, man? 280 gifted memberships in a single stream is insane. That's insane, man. That's like, sometimes we do that in a month. A single stream? Mother of Flagnards. Thank you so much, Regine Thomas. I truly appreciate you for gifting 20 gifted memberships, man. Y'all are nuts. My boy Speak comes in with a 2 and says, throws hat in the air. We like to see, Speak. So we like to see, man. Thank you so much, brother. Ally 2164 comes with a 5 and says, Coach Oda is at Torical. Oda's at Torical levels of cooking right now. We're talking about prime Torical. When we were out here sweating massive bullets on a weekly basis. Talking about 8 Kings level, dog. What was it? Horse King Heracles? The bird, what was his name? Emperor Crow? Toriko had some crazy creatures, man. Shout out to my boy Monkey King Bambina. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Toriko, bro. I really miss Toriko. Goated series. I was thinking about Starjun the other day. I don't remember what prompted it, but I was like, Starjun. My flippin' boy right there. So thank you so much for that, Ally. I truly appreciate you. Toriko levels of cooking. Let's flip and go. Isha QN1598 comes to membership for 17 months. Peak incoming. Truly appreciate you. Riletti Apps comes to membership right here. Welcome to King of Peak Fiction. Thank you so much for that. Riletti Yaps. All love to you. Razzie Boy comes in with a 30 and says, it's 5 a.m. where I am, and because of that, I mostly watch the reactions to the bot after the live stream, but this chapter I could not miss watching live. That's all I'll say. 5 a.m. Pancake Gang. And speaking of the 5 a.m. Pancake Gang, Presno follows that up with a 2. Shout out to my boy Presno. It says, return of the 4 a.m. gang. Yo, the 4 a.m. gang, number one, I apologize. If I could have been here earlier, I would have. We're here, apparently, at the perfect time. So, shout out to Presno, shout out to Razzie Boy Boy for being a part of the 4 a.m., 5 a.m. I know Instant Messenger Sun was a part of that same squad, too. All the 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m.ers here in the chat today, I truly do appreciate y'all, man. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us. Holy sweet mother of Flagnards. And then, Super Scorpio 12 comes with a 5, says, put the jersey on, let's get started. I'm ready, boys! And our last super, before we get into some peak, Syndratic. Shout out to Syndratic, bro. Syndratic, how are you doing? I feel like I haven't seen you in a minute. Because with the 2 assist chapter, summoning from a hiatus, literally. Peak time. Good to see you, Syndratic. Good to see so many of y'all that I feel like I haven't seen in quite some time. But here we are. Y'all, we are caught up to the super chats. And it is time. Let me know if at any point within this stream, the internet goes out. I know every time we have a big, large audience like this, it's going to kill the stream sometimes. So if 144 Pecan comes into the picture, 240 Pecan, please just, it'll be alright. We'll be alright. You know what I'm saying? As long as the stream doesn't go up. So just let me know 2 things. Number 1, is the audio good? And number 2, are the visuals at the very least watchable? If those 2 are good, we're gonna hop into the greatness. So let me know, because it's go time. No poll. We're not reading the title. I'm gonna pull up the message from Akash Panda, get the chapter up, and then we're gonna read some peak. Good here. Visuals watchable. Perfect. And audio's good. Visuals watchable. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I already knew. I already knew. It happens every time. Every time we have one of these like crazy chapters, the internet, for some reason, never wants to do anything for me. So. We're here no matter what pecan we get. Alright. Let's get into the greatness. Akash Panda. By the way, Akash Panda, so remember how the original plan for this week was we were potentially going to do the episodes after the chapter. That won't be possible this week because I do need to get up early tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is, my game plan is, I'm going to read the chapter tonight, obviously, then we'll do our post-stream discussion, whatever. Then on Sunday, I'll react to the opening, the ending, and if I'm really feeling it, I'll just watch the episode, screw it. I'll react to the episode. And then we'll do the end of Egghead episodes when the time comes. When the opportunity presents itself. Because I want to give full focus on whatever Flying Flatter's about to read right here. So let me pull up the link provided by my boy Akash Panda, and then we will get into the flipping chapter. Viewers in Kubari for the first time set changed layout direction on the left to vertical view to scroll vertically across pages. Okay, perfect. On the left. Kubari.moe. Wait a minute. I think we got it. Wait. Vertical? Shoot. I think I might have messed it up. I mean, it says page 1, and I'm looking at, it says TCB on the thing. So, yeah! I think we skipped everything. Perfect. Yo, Akash Panda, this is clutch. Holy Blacknards. Alright. So, I'm going to assume, I just go to the next page by just pressing this? I'm assuming? Yo, shout out to Akash Panda, man. Yo, applause for Akash Panda coming to clutch. Holy fly cards. Okay. So we got straight into the TCB screen and no buffer in the middle. Okay. So I guess we'll figure out the... Oh my god. Yeah. Cover. Perfect. Akash Pen, I got it. Cause ahora, I just gotta go like this. Oh, that's perfect! I'm gonna have the full screen. I feel like I haven't read it in this way, I think, ever on stream. This is cool. Full screen access. Well, without further ado, once again, huge shout out to my boy Akash Panda for setting up the stream this way. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll get into everything that we are skipping out on here in the beginning later on. Not reading the chapter title, the cover page, all of that stuff is on like 0 dark 30 right now. We'll come back to that after we finish reading the chapter. But for right now, we are here today. I don't know what my internet's at, and I don't care. I frankly don't care. Because y'all are used to it. Y'all know how it is, man. This is the same channel in which we were here the night that chapter 1086 came out, and lightning struck, cutting out my stream mid-chapter. And did that stop us? Of course it didn't. We put it right back up and we're like, we are in there like swimwear. Because internet be damned. We will be here, and no matter what, at any given point. And it's all going to come down to, are we willing to put up with whatever it takes to reach some peak? I'm coming off of 2 overtime shifts back to back. And y'all know what I'm feeling right now? I'm feeling more energized than I was this morning when I woke up. Because right now, right before me, is a chapter that I've been waiting for since Monday in like the middle of the day. And so at this point in time, we're going to set everything else to the side. And for the next 40 to hour to 2, I don't care how long we're here, we are going to sit down and read the latest installment in the best-selling manga in history. We're going to sit down here today to read what is also the best-selling comic of all time. We are here today in the midst of the Elbaf greatness, coming back with the anime on Sunday in the middle of the day, and a new opening, new ending, new visuals, new arc. We are here for the manga greatness of chapter 1179 of that one. Go, boys! Peace! Let's go! I'm ready. You're ready. We're all ready. Let's flip and go, man. Now let me tell you, it's actually kind of wild. This chapter ends up being as insane as I'm thinking. Oda may be cooking with like 78s and 79s. I'm thinking all the way back as like as far back as I believe chapter 778 or like 779, somewhere on there was when we had the second Bellamy versus Luffy battle, which was I absolutely love that entire encounter. And then leading into a couple chapters later when Luffy stopped Doflamingo's sandal, iconic moment. But that was like in the 770s. In the 870, I believe 878 was my chapter of the year that year. I think that was the Pedro sacrifice chapter and Luffy crushing the mirror. I may be wrong, but I think that was chapter 878. palo. And then, of course, 879 started Luffy versus Katakuri. 978/979, I believe that's whenever I think the trio entered Onigashima like 1070, or 976, whatever. 977 and 978, I think that was like the Conjuro Among Us chapters. And then we officially entered Onigashima like 979. 1079 was obviously Shanks one-shotting Kid and Killer, don't forget about that. And Divine Departure. But we are here today for whatever the flying flag in our chapter 1179 has in store for us. And without further ado, let's get right into it. I am so excited. Here we go. Oh man, I'm legitimately a kid in the candy store right now, bro. I live for these moments. I live for when my beloved series is at its absolute best. Making sure we're good here. Okay. Lighting's good. We're all good. So we're going to read Oda's note here. I'm happy that... Let me get some water before I start dying. You know what I'm saying? Oda comes up with a note and says, I'm happy that Season 2 of the One Piece live action is being received well. I want children around the world to watch it too. And they most certainly are. You know, I have the kids of a coworker that told me that they absolutely love One Piece. And whenever I brought up that's my favorite show, because like, everyone knows. Yo, man, I've never shied away from the truth. From the moment that I got into the series, and someone asked me, Recon, favorite show, favorite book, favorite comic. My answer is always the same, man. I don't change, brother. You know what I don't change. You know, it's the flipping greatness. It always is gonna be. You know what I'm saying? It just so happens that that it's the thing that just resonates with me. You know what I'm saying? And so when we were asked that, I was like, yeah, man, flipping One Piece. And I was like, oh, my kids love that show. I was like, they're good people. Good people, man. Legendary taste. And obviously we're talking about the live action, but let's flip and go, man. I don't care what it is. It be live action, the games, the 4Kids version, as long as their foot's in the door and they know Monkey D. Luffy, that's all I care about. Let's go into it, man. First page. I'm so scared of turning this flipping page, bro. I've been waiting all week, but at the same time I'm terrified. Here we go, y'all. First page. What am I about to see, bro? The last thing we saw was Instant Messenger Sama being like, yo, we're about to start moving. But where are they going? First page. Alright, my bad. My bad. I wasn't familiar with Oda's game. I thought we might ease into it. I thought, you know what I'm saying? We might roughen up the bread. You know, when you're making some food, sometimes you have to prepare. You know, you gotta hit the dough a little bit. We don't get your Oda likes to hit his dough. You know what I'm saying? Wano's like 170 chapters. Dressrosa's like 100 chapters. He'd be hitting the dough. We were setting up there for a minute. But this man said, yo, we're in the final saga. Just like last week, when I thought we were going to switch over to like the Giants or something for the whole chapter. What did Oda do? We had a full chapter of Luffy and Loki throwing hands with Emu. This week starting off, Great Emu. ... Already getting the Monkey D. Dragon text. Upscaling, my boy. Great Emu. Did I hear you correctly? I mean, my boy didn't stutter. What's Emu planning? The Holy Land Mighty Joe. Oh my god, bro, we're really not moving. The Holy Land Mighty Joe, Room of Authority. And we got the God Hand of Finance, Ali G. Right here, we got JD Double Dubs. We got Alan Turing here. Room of Authority. Surely you don't intend to actually visit Elbaf yourself. I can't believe I just read that statement. Please reconsider. For you to descend to the lower realm. This is no time for idleness. Garling. Garling boys! There's no time for idleness. How long can the Holy Land possibly be defended under these conditions? Garling. Shamrock's return seems to have helped quell matters. But we were arrogant to think we could easily stop the lower realm dwellers from using starvation tactics against us. So that is confirmation as to what they were talking about the Holy Land being in flames. It was the starvation tactics that they had been sprinkling in throughout the course of the last couple of intermission sections of the story. And that's now finally coming into fruition. So now that is confirmation, that is exactly what they were referring to with the whole land being on fire. What good are leaders who can't even keep their own troops fed? And that, of course, is coming from Mr. Garling here, formerly Recon Garling, but we don't, after the Rock Splashback, not anymore, you know what I'm saying? Our priorities should be, listen, I still love me some Garling. I really do. It's just not going to be attached to my name, you know what I'm saying? I attach myself to his goated son, maybe even both goated sons, if things continue the way they are, because I think Shamrock is really that guy, you know what I'm saying? I really do. Our priority should be rallying the military might needed to assert global dominance. Even the former Navy headquarters, McDonald's? Garling, you gotta know, man. It's double Golden Arch season. It's been that way since the time skip, baby. You have to refer to former Navy HQ. To our beloved Double M. After what it is. The place where you get the $5 meal deal. Now I think it's a $6 meal deal. Call it what it is, man. McDonald's headquarters. The place where a kind never moves from. Ring ring. Gotcha. Garling, where's the food? See? I told y'all it was McDonald's. This is no way for a Celestial Dragon to live. I thought I told you. York! Holy flagnards! The Holy Land is currently facing a food shortage. Do you know, bro, look at the Mother Flame! Oh, man! Do you know one of the things that might break this deadlock? Labophase Power Plant Marijoa. The Mother Flame. If you truly wish to live like a Celestial Dragon, hurry and produce energy. I'm hungry. And obviously York's not going to do anything without food, but it's good to see York, you know. It's always good to see any of the Vegapunks. But it's good to see York. The flying flagnars that she is. Hurry and produce energy. This wasn't part of the deal. Kidding. Anytime I think of that in One Piece context, it reminds me of the flipping, the memes with Mihawk. Wasn't a part of the bargain, you know? I agreed to box Whitebeard for checks. Wasn't a part of the bargain. Some might claim the original Vegapunk was aligned with this rebellion. Consider this your penance. Your penance, mind you. Goodness gracious. Some might claim the original Vegapunk was aligned with this rebellion. Consider this your penance. One disaster after another. And it all started after Nika resurfaced. Chapter 1044, ladies and gentlemen. We were there, live, watched it, 4K. Are we to write this off as a mere coincidence, or was all of that inevitable? In any case, Great Emu. You should not leave Pangaea Castle. I can't believe what I'm flipping hearing right now, bro. Like, the fact that this is a possibility. Allow us to dispatch the Navy and... I don't care! Yo, both those ideas are good to me! Dispatch the admirals! You know what boy Luffy's gonna do to them? You know exactly what... Yo, I've been hearing Admiral... Listen, I love me the admirals. But I'm tired of the trash talk. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of the trash talk. Alright, man? Like my boy didn't fold flipping admirals like they were pizzas. Oh, but Kizaru wasn't trying. Flipping Kizaru wasn't trying. Ooh, he was bouncing Saturn and Kizaru like they were a basketball son, like he was Luka Doncic in the fourth. Talking about, he wasn't trying. You should not leave Pangaea Castle. Allow us to dispatch Navy admirals to Elbaf instead. Bring them on, man. Bring them on! Allow us to dispatch Navy admirals to Elbaf instead. Let's flipping go, bro. That won't do. Consider all the other incidents that have arisen. Oh my god, another chance at Greenville? Oh. Dog, let me... Let me see Loki rip Green Bull a new one, bro. That won't do. Consider all the other incidents that have arisen. Our hands are tied. So obviously, Nustro is putting things into fruition here that we're not gonna be able to see the Navy admirals show up on into Elbaf. They go in Elbaf, which is crazy because I remember whenever we were in Wano, one of the things was like, dude, okay, we're gonna have to dispatch the admirals, right? And obviously, this man Kaido was a deterrent, so we're not gonna do that. But I always appreciate when an admiral is there because it adds like another level of like, oh snap, you know. That's why I really liked Fujitori's presence in Dressrosa. It was like that other element of like, dang, we gotta watch out. And similarly in Egghead, obviously with Kizaru's presence there too. In that case, we must once again workery. This is no mere coincidence. Arrogance, idleness, negligence, pride. Oh, this is emu, bro. This is emu. Workery. This is no mere coincidence. Arrogance, idleness, negligence, pride. Thou must cast aside these follies, bro, at once. All this was inevitable. All this was inevitable. You see him? You see him? In the cut! Still lodged into Emu's brain. This is a dude that has been around for like 1 billion years. And who's he thinking? Who's in his mind? Y'all know how like there's certain sports interviews where you hear, oh man, like there was a rival that used to like tear me a new one. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was always in my head. When I was training and I was in the gym, I was like, man, I'm gonna get that Blackberry. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get that dude back. You know what Emu's thinking of, bro? Emu's thinking of rocks. Emu's like, all of this was inevitable, but that brother existed. Davy D's back. His existence caused the inevitable, bro. He is it. He is him. My guy. Roger, seek it out. It appears that Neptune has had a daughter, Poseidon. Wait, so we have rocks, Roger, obviously for the One Piece. It appears that Neptune has had a daughter. Shoot! Oh, shoot! That devil fruit was stolen. Oh! Talk about the going on me. So we got rocks, Roger, Poseidon. The devil fruit was stolen. Herald is something unforeseen lurking on Elbaf. Loki. We have new intel on the fog ship's captain. His name is Loki. He is Herald's son, the fog ship we were talking about last week. Whitebeard and Marineford! Why would Whitebeard protect that young man? Who is he? Monkey D. Yo! Luffy post knocked out! Monkey D. Luffy, and then Blackbeard, and that one, Marshall D. Teach. Put some respect on his name. Put some respect on his name. Remember the name, man. Remember the name. Marshall D. Marshall D, baby. Oh, dude. And they even have like the half of Whitebeard's head being taken out too, bro. Oh, it's so sick. I love this. It's like signaling out certain points in time where if only they would have taken care of the situation at hand, and then it wouldn't have gotten to this point. Oh, dude, this is This is, without a doubt, one of the most like, man, what a journey it's been pages. Rocks, I'll be back. Roger, the birth of Poseidon, Shanks, Herald, Loki, Whitebeard's death, Luffy barely escaping at Marineford, And Whitebeard post getting both fruits at Marineford. Come on. Oh, snap. Oh, it continues. Cobra. Nefertari D. Lily. Joy Boy. Dave. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh, man. The government name. The government name. Joy Boy, Davy Jones. And it goes back into the moment where their posters were scratched up. The moment where their posters became what they were on the flower in the flower room's floor. Oh. Oh my goodness. So we're seeing the process as he's naming Joy Boy and Davy Jones. Wilt thou keep making me suffer? Keep making Moo suffer. Wilt thou keep making Moo suffer? Wilt thou keep making Moo suffer? That was the last thing I was expecting Emu to say. So, we look up Luffy and Blackbeard, obviously Joy Boy and Davy Jones. Wilt thou keep making Moo suffer? And it shows the page that we saw from chapter 908, was that? 908? When we saw the broken parts of the bounty posters and of Shirahoshi's poster. Vivi. Retrieve Vivi. And it shows Emu looking up at Lily. Oh, God. It was all set in motion. Oh my God, a spellbinding circle. Long, long ago. Great Emu. Long, long ago. The Holy Land shall be left in all thine hands. Great Emu, if you go to the surface realm, we have no authority to forbid this. It's happening, boys. The Holy Land shall be left in all thine hands. Bro, and you know, this is the spellbinding circle of all spellbinding circles, dog. This is the spellbinding circle. It was all set into motion long, long ago. Great Emu. Great Emu, if you go to the surface realm, dog, he's gonna destroy the planet. We have no authority to forbid this. It's like Garland wants this to happen. He wants chaos to ensue. But, yo, dog, all four of them are sweating. But, Great Emu, if you leave this castle, it is not our place to question this. The Great One is fully aware of the consequences. No one can stop them. Emu's gone, bro, but where's Emu going? That's my question. Where in the world is Emu going, dog? No one can stop them. No one. No one. When Emu puts to mind what Emu wants to do, no one can stop. We see a whoosh as Emu disappears. Pero que cosa? We look over. We see some darkness in the clouds. What is that? We continue to see the clouds. Is that the steps? Is that what that is? Are those the steps that we saw in the what chapter was that? It's some chapter in the Reverie when we saw the humongous steps. Because I see like some sort of painting in the background. I don't know. Humongous clouds, though. I'm gonna assume caused by Emu. I don't know if I can turn the page, dude. Elbaf. Run, man. Oh, run. Get out of there. Bro, we gotta get out of there, dude. Bro, we have to move. We have to leave. We have to run. Elbaf New World. Hadrudine Stanson. West Village, Realm of the Sun. Bro, they're unsuspecting. They don't know what's coming. They don't know that flipping Bahamut is coming down from the heavens. Elbaf. West Village, Realm of the Sun. Check it out. One of the demons was trying to put himself back together again, so I... Screw you, don't you dare mess with me. He's still alive in this state. Look, it's like a magnet, freaky. You're the real freak. They called you Gerd. I'll remember that. I swear I'm going to give you a gruesome death. Flipping Summers. I think you should take a look at this too, Deshu. Zoro? A steel heart? Oh, this is what we were talking about last chapter. Like, what is that thing? A steel heart, I wonder. If I destroyed this, would he still be able to patch himself back up? Summers obviously freaking out means that this is the source of their infinite potential to regenerate, right? Which is what we were potentially discussing at the end of last week's chapter. So, if that is the case, then I wonder if that has a connection to why Chopper is able to do what he's able to do. Honestly, this would mean Law would come in really clutch, right? Here in the final stretch of the story, you get that heart out of their chest. Pablo, we put in work. Near Walrus School. Dog, I don't know if I can see this. This is like me knowing a meteor is about to crash. And then with the meteor incoming, we're just seeing them live, bro. Like, get out of there. Hang in there, Usopp Brook. All of your bones are busted. Want me to turn you guys into cyborgs? Where's Chopper? I won't forget your name, Sanji. Jude killing him? You better remember mine. I already forgot. He ain't worried about you, dog. Gunko! Stuck in the ice! Someone froze the school? Loki. Not quite. Its thermal energy was absorbed. Well, this was a bust, bro. I'm so hyped. My eyesight hasn't been this good since I was like 3 years old, dude. I'm reading these lines perfectly without my glasses. Y'all know that doesn't happen. All those schools' lunch supplies are rock solid and tasteless now. Food? We should give some to Usopp and the others. Focus on getting yourself back to normal first. Loki, that person you froze earlier, are they dead? Look at Luffy. It was a flashy freeze, so they won't die, but they can only be thawed out by Ragnar here. Shout out to my guy. They won't be able to escape at any rate, so don't sweat it. Squeak! Huh? What? Nami, what are you sensing? Nami, why are you sweating? What's happening? Oh no. Dog, we see this like bolt of black flames. We see this bolt of black flames, dude. And it crashes down right outside of Quest 64 Castle. Right in the middle of the forest. There's no doubt. I know everybody who knows who this is, bro, but look at the hockey. Have we ever seen anything of this magnitude? Look at the size of that thing. What in the world is that? It's not just one. The world's ending. The planet is coming to an end, bro. We got not just one. We have 3 of these pillars coming down. And they're striking multiple different points. What? Look at the sky. I don't want to look up there, SpongeBob. There's a circle in the sky. This brother said I'm not ascending. I'm descending. All the other Gorosei, they ascend. They come down from the flipping abyss. Emo comes down from the heavens. What in all... Bro, what in the world is that thing up top? Bro, the clouds! Look at the shape of the clouds! Is that a... What is going on? My light. Is that a magic circle? Everybody come here quick! What is this rumbling? I'm right by your side, Nami-san. Dog. Oh my goodness. Doron? Dororon? So we see like the houses. Dororon. The houses. What is this? Rar? Wahoo. The houses have started talking. Is this because of the circle? This dude, Emu's hockey's so crazy, he's bringing things to life! The houses are talking! Post-Emu! He hasn't even shown up! It's just a circle! And the houses are talking. Dog, they're singing like we're in a Disney movie. Dorororon? Dorororon. Rar. Dororo. Bororo. The forest trees too? Why is everything alive? Is this another one of their abilities? Dararan. Dararan. Dorororo. Dorororo. Kokororo. The whole planet is coming alive! What is happening in this chapter? Things that shouldn't be alive are coming alive! Just by this dude coming down! Again, descending, not ascending, descending! What in all of the flying flagnards, bro? The planet is coming alive! And we just see this humongous strike. This is how you know I'm locked in. I haven't even brought up NL yet, and I'm not going to. Castle. The castle gets struck by this black lightning. There's fire everywhere. I'm gonna start singing next. Conquerors. Colin gets knocked out. Hadrudine. Gerd Goldberg. That's Conqueror's hockey. Zoro says, it's coming from the castle. Hey, isn't this the same hockey from before? Luffy? Quest Castle Interior, the throne room. Oh, Lord. Oh, God. Emu. A splat. Emu comes down, and there's a splat. A splat? We see goo hits the floor. Emu starts huffing and puffing. Emu's down on his knees. He grew a wing? He's Sephiroth. He's flipping Sephiroth. Bro, he's growing a wing! He's growing a wing, dude! There's an explosion above Quest Castle? Did that come from Emu? Who is that? They're all seeing this, bro. Emu just doesn't care. The planet being exposed to the planet. We see, my God, look at this humongous. Look at the cloud. Bro, the clouds look like it's growing an eye. Look at the clouds. This goes beyond when the skies split. What in all of the flying flowers am I looking at? This looks beyond the sky split. The skies themselves look like they're bowing. Dog, I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna pass out, dude. Look at the trees. The houses. The Great One? They know. They know. Don't tell me he came here in person. They know. Look, there's someone on the castle spire. Someone on the castle spire? What is that? What in the flag north? I can't make out the silhouette. Is that supposed to be Emu? I mean, there's no one else. Is that a ring? Bro! This silhouette looks crazy. Emu's just chilling on top of the castle. What in the world is that? Is that Emu? That's Emu! What in the world is this? Bro! Dude! What is that sword? What is this being? Wait a minute! Wait. We'll fix that in a second. Oh no, I broke the tripod. Tripod 1 down. My light source is down. Oh no. Wait. Bro. Dog. Wait. I gotta pull up the camera. But wait. Dude, my light source. Wait. Dude, I don't care, man. Where's the thing? I gotta read the chapter. Can y'all see me? Am I good? Dales, I'm here. No tripod, I don't care. Where's the light source? I think it's good enough. put this right here. Yeah, we're telling a spooky story here anyway. Boys, what in the world is this, bro? No, the light source. Every time I pick this up, the light source goes down. They were good. I just pulled it up right here. Dude, what in the world is this thing? Look at the horns. Look at the cape. Look at the skulls. Hello? Bro, and then look at the eyes all over on his... This is one of the coolest forms in the entire series, bro. What am I looking at? Just off, is that long flow? This man has long flowing hair. He has long flowing hair. Y'all gonna sit there, you're gonna enjoy Carpet Sama, and you're gonna like it. I gotta walk around the room, dude. Yo! Emu rocking. Straight up. Look, but this man looks like he's from Soul Eater. You see the arrow right here in the back. Oh man. Arrow in the back. Sword coming down from the bottom. Dude. Oh my God. This is insane. Okay. All right. I'm just going to makeshift a tripod real quick. Think we're good? Might be all right? This thing is so broken, dude. Bro, I took out two tripods at once, man, but it's not my fault. I think we're good. One last stand, baby. One last... Yo, Tripod Kun, one last stand. One last stand, man. Come on, give it to me. One more. Give me one more, man. You just have to give me one more, dude. Just let me finish the chapter. Emu, bro. Look at the long flowing hair. Look at the long flowing hair. I'm going to have to lift this thing up with my foot, bro. I literally don't have another tripod. You know what? We're just going to put the light source on my knee. Dude, the long hair. I don't know what this blade looking thing is, but it looks so sick. The black clouds. Oh, there's an Oda box. World Government Creator. One of the first 20. Ability. Ability what? Ability what? World Government Creator. One of the first 20. Ability. Not 8. Other characters in this series. Other characters in this series. What did they get introduced with? Devil Fruit A. Devil Fruit B. Devil Fruit C. Devil Fruit D. Emu said, all y'all have are copies. All y'all have are things that are not the original. I am the original. That thing says, with an apostrophe, ability, devil's fruit. We get to see Emu's full design on the left! Emu! 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 Listen, y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, man. Last week, I said we have a chance because it's Luffy and Loki. I don't know if we have a chance. I don't know if we have a chance, man. I genuinely don't know if we have a chance, bro. Look at what I'm looking at. The dude came down. He descended from the heavens. Brought things to life, bro. He brought these houses to life like it was Big Mom. He brought the houses to life. To the tune of music. He brought them to life. He brought them to life to the tune of music. Music. He was summoned by music? Just like Luffy. Just like when Nika came out. There's no way. There's no way. So both of them get summoned by music. Oh, man. So, one creates things. The other, the music comes from within. Imu descended, and automatically a whole bunch of things started doing the do-do-dun, ko-do-dun, kon, do-do-dun. But in this particular case, we had, or in Luffy's case, we had the do-dun, and that came from within. That came from within. So, that's curious. That's actually very interesting for both of their dynamics. One of them had the bororo, and is caused by others, whom this individual creates, mind you. Just continuing on with the godlike image that Imu wants to have. So in line with the character, by the way. Why is this thing on the floor again? Please. I'm sorry, man. One more time. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Please. 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 All I know is this. All I know is this. All I know is this. Do y'all see me here? All I know is this. All I know is this. Instant Messenger Sama. Instant Messenger Sama, y'all know. We have been aboard this hype train for Instant Messenger Sama since chapter 906. I would have been cool with Imu being a blob. I really would have. We said it here multiple times on stream. I don't care what Imu looks like. Imu could be a blob. Imu could be Lily. Imu could be whoever. I don't care. The fact that Imu has one of the coolest designs in the series, and a design that honestly sort of prepares us for what we can expect from the Void Sentry, right? I mean, just look at that. I still can't believe this man descended down from a magic circle, bro. Everyone else that had the spellbinding circle came down from below. Only Imu descends from it. What the heck, bro? Imu comes in. Dog. There's a break next week. Good. 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 Oh, Oda needs to chill. Oda's gotta relax. This man has the 3 skulls. Oh! 3 skulls! Oh, what does Blackbeard know? What does Blackbeard know? 3 skulls going down the bandages. That's interesting. Ooh. Oh, man. 3 skulls coming down. So Emo pops down. We see this ring behind Emo, which obviously reminds me of the ring that Luffy has when he's awakened. Obviously, the other awakened fruit users as well. This weapon of Emu, the one that you see has like an Akatsuki cloud up here at the top. This thing looks so sick, bro. This thing looks so sick. Why does Emu have one of the coolest designs in the entire series, bro? Look at this thing. King of the world, Saint Nerona Emu. Dog. Yo, this is crazy. So both Emu and Luffy, when in their state, have white hair. Y'all know what's crazy, though? Joy Boys Hockey had this individual down on their knees. What does that say about Joy Boy? Emu in this chapter established immediate dominance. Immediate, I am the creator of the WG, the person who has the original, the devil's fruit. Man has the Renegon, bro. Look at his eyes. Bro, he's rocking the Renegon. Blob Form Emu was boxing Roger, Rox, Garp, Big Mom, Kaido. That was Blob Emu. That was Blob Emu. This is Emu. No Hot Dog Emu. No Gunko Emu. Dog, this is Emu. This chapter genuinely doesn't feel real. What in the flying... What was the title of this chapter? Now I have to know. What was the title of this chapter? Nerona Emu Descends. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone who told me to skip the title, you are goated, but not just that. Yamato and Ace were on the cover? That's how I would have known it would have been a goated chapter. Are you kidding me? Ace, Tama, and Yamato take boring piglets on a field trip to the wetlands. Normally, I'd be all over this, but I gotta go back to that final page. Oh man, this sequence right here, all of this is inevitable. And it shows everything that led to this point. Oh. And now Emu descends, bro. The blob. So now I'm wondering, why this blob? Why specifically this blob when Emu's up there in the Holy Land? And then when Emu descends down into the surface, turns into this. See, this really, really fascinates me. Really, really fascinates me. Because you know what this tells me? This tells me that the same thing, when we get into that astral realm, or whatever that higher realm is in Elbaf, that... Because now that we know this is possible with Emu, I'm not going to throw this out of the realm of possibility of this happening with, like, Luffy's fruit either. Now, I'm not saying that Luffy's fruit has, like, not finished evolving. Because it certainly seems like that is the final state of Luffy's form. In Gear 5, right? The perfect representation of his ability. But it's just so crazy to me that Emu, just from descending down into this realm, can no longer keep the blob state. So, I don't know where to begin, man. I don't know where to begin. The fact that Emu descended, the fact that the blob state splattered onto the floor, or the fact that when Emu was coming down, things were being brought to life. To music. Dororon. To music. You know what's crazy? We said back in chapter 1049 that maybe the connection between Emu and Gunko with Brook would have something to do with like devil music, like genuine stuff, right? Lo and behold, all we have to do is wait a couple more chapters. We have what I'm going to assume is like the evil version of the drums, quote unquote. Dororon, Dororon, and these things come to life. Like, nature itself is coming to life due to this brother descending. And the fact that this is Conqueror's hockey as well. Showcasing the immense, This series is over next chapter. We need Shanks, dude. We need flipping Blackbeard. How are we going to survive this, bro? How are we surviving this? The only known equal to this is flipping Joy Boy at max. No wonder Oda was so excited to draw Elbaf. Look at what he had in the chamber. Look at what he had in the chamber for Elbaf. Emu's appearance. I was wondering, why are we seeing Emu so much in this arc? Obviously, it made sense from a thematic standpoint. But, dude, after last week's chapter, we're like, man, does Emu go to the Red Line? Does Emu come to Elbaf? We don't know. Emu came to Elbaf, and in Emu's form. We finally got the face reveal. This is crazy. Bro, I now live in a world where Emu's face is revealed. It's not Blob Moo or Hot Dog Moo anymore. This is like when Kaido was first revealed, man. We all thought it was Meadows for like 3 years. Dude, this is crazy, man. This is a reveal. 2018, June, I remember because I was in DC at the time. Flipping. 8 years in the making? Man. The creator of the WG confirmed. Creator of the WG, one of the first 20 who has the ability of the Devil's Fruit. So now I have to wonder, Emu turned into this because of this ability, right? So now I question, is what we're looking at the origin of fruits? Did Emu like bestow upon the world the rest of these abilities? Or is this just the fruit? Maybe the first fruit, or maybe the second fruit created. I genuinely can't believe what I'm looking at. Nerona Emu, bro. We're about to see everyone. Just to survive, we're gonna need everyone. The monster trio, because the thing is, if Emu is bringing trees to life, there is no doubt in my mind Emu is about to power up. Summers, killing him. Everyone who's here that is on Emu's side is gonna get a power up. There's no doubt in my mind. If Emu is bringing trees and houses to life, the knights are getting a boost. No doubt. No doubt in my mind. So if that's the case, man, this is about to be a really hard-fought battle. Really, really, really hard-fought battle. This is a contender for like one of the craziest final pages in One Piece, bro. Like the mural, until the One Piece is revealed, I feel like it's gonna take that cake. But this is crazy, man. Ending a chapter on Emu's reveal, dude. This is like when I first saw Madara for the first time in Naruto. After so many years of hearing the brother's name and just seeing him in action. After all of this time, finally seeing Emu and doing stuff we've never seen before. This is nuts. And it's crazy because Emu was already nuts. Emu Goonko was already crazy. Blob Hot Dog Emu was already crazy. You know what it is to tank an attack from 6 of the Legends of the Verse? In Blob state? Wasn't even this one. This man descended from the heavens, dude. So, there's no doubt in my mind now that the Steel Heart is going to be the... Because I'm telling you, Summers and Killing Him are about to get a huge power-up. So there's no doubt in my mind that the only way, that the reason why Zoro's seeing this panel right now is because the Steel Heart is still going to be how they get defeated. So Summers still gets defeated in this arc. Killing Him still gets defeated in this arc. Emu might... Like I said, we might be looking at a Sabaody Part 2. Emu might wipe us all out, bro. I haven't felt this from a villain in this series. That we can legitimately lose in any moment since Kaido. We can lose at any moment, man. Like, next chapter could be the end of this arc. Or start the end of this arc. Because, boy, what in the world am I looking at? All right, y'all. Let's get into some supers, man. I gotta hear what y'all have to say about this chapter. Emu, dude. Something very interesting, before we go into the supers, something that I find really, really interesting is the fact that Emu sort of reminds me of the Seraphim in the white hair and the dark skin, which is really interesting considering what we know the Seraphim, or I'm sorry, not the Seraphim, the Lunarians. I didn't mean to say Seraphim. The Lunarians. We know they originally come from a place called the Land of the Gods. So if that obviously is the case, then now with Emu's appearance, I'm even more intrigued. Now I'm extremely, extremely intrigued. Yeah. Yeah. So Emu Lunarian / there's a connection between Emu, Nerona Emu, and the Lunarians in the Land of the Gods, and whatever that means. The importance of the Lunarians. Emu Lunarian, if we're going down that route, makes what King said at the end of Wano even more fascinating to me. Because King, as one of the last remaining Lunarians on the planet, was not waiting for Ancestor Emu. King was actually waiting for Joy Boy. That is fascinating. That's an interesting thing to explore. Let's read some supers. Let's read some supers. I have so many thoughts. I don't even know where to begin. My mind is still stuck on this panel, the splat. Why splat when Emu comes down into this realm? Let's get into the supers. Let's get into the supers. I am flipping. Good lord, dude. Yo. Man. Dude. Holy flagnards. Okay, let's get into the supers. Starting off here with B Money comes in with 5 says, I made you a special video. No more supers sent on your channel again. Go see that video. God will not allow any person to keep you from destiny. Joel Osteen. You separate me from all humans on earth, fellow destinies. What others say and do cannot stop fulfilling your destiny. Your destiny was handed down by Almighty God. Joel Osteen. Our destiny is connected. It's Batman's job to go against the world. Shane and our United Universe God-given destinies. Tupac Universe, God sparked the brain prophecy. Your Recon SS video is up. Channel now. Please watch it. It's 4 parts. Easy to watch. Look at chat. More to reach out to you. I appreciate you, Big Muddy. Thank you so much for taking the time to deliver the supers, man. I really do appreciate it. Kosh Panda comes in with a 2. It says Dorodon equals Japanese drumroll SFX. So we were on to something. I wasn't. I thought I was reaching. I'm not gonna lie. I really thought I was reaching. Oh wow! So they are the Japanese drum roll SFX. The drums of oppression. Dude. The drums of oppression. Then instant messengers. Gosh, man, I don't even know what to say after that. I am number one. Thank you so much for clarifying that, because now that makes even more sense. So it is a drum roll. I thought it was just music. It's legitimately a drum roll. So drums activate both Emu and Luffy. You know what's interesting about this is the frequency idea. I don't know if you guys have ever like heard about like the idea of like those that are like spiritually in tune or whatever. Often that can be done so through like frequencies, which is why like music is almost always used as like a huge thing in any type of like spiritual facet. But specifically the drum beat being used for both Luffy and Emu is something I was not expecting. That changes things. That is so exciting. Because what this shows is that the Luffy and Emu dynamic is going to be, I'm talking right down the middle of what one has and the other and the other has. Of like being almost carbon copies. Oh, not carbon copies, but you know, the drums, the one with the black smoke, the one with the white smoke. One is for freedom, the other one's for oppression. One could say they are each other's natural enemy. I'm curious though, because now I just thought back to what we've seen from Nika in the most recent flashback. Nika from the first world, I'm assuming, appeared to also have that Lunarian-esque skin color based on the little silhouette that we got. So I'm curious to know the connection. My brain is spinning at the speed of light right now, bro. What is the connection between the Lunarians and what we're gonna see in the first world? The Void Sentry, Nika, and Emu, dude. What are we cooking, man? What are we cooking? Anyways, instant message Sama comes in with a 20 after that. Thank you so much again, Kosh Bando. Comes in. What in the world is that first thing? It shows a dancing individual, lightning, and then a castle. Emu, instant messenger Sama, gracing us with their presence. Emu, you know, for a very long time, I blamed you for everything. Tonight, I thank you for I thank you for what you've done. Thank you, instant messenger Sama, for being with us today, man. I really do appreciate you. I really, really do. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much, man. Exactly, control versus freedom as well, right? Razzie Boy says, chat, pray for camera. Sama, bro, look at what happened to my tripod, dude. Hold on, can I pull the camera into view? Dude. It's busted. This thing, I don't even have the nail thing in there anymore. I don't even know where that thing landed. Look at my tripod, dude. This thing right here used to be covered. This thing got executed. Flipping Emu, man. Goodness gracious. Chat, pray for camera, Sama. Brassy Boy Boy says we already are. Presnotics is the drums of oppression. You know, the idea of the drums of oppression makes so much sense to me. So much sense to me, man. Will miss. So thank you, Presno. Akash Panda comes in with a 5 and says, will miss silhouette emu after 8 years, 2,863 days since 906. Emu's hybrid form is red and huge compared to the giant tower. Devil fruits were based on emu's power. So, if that's the case, Akash Panda, then I'm fascinated by that idea. Because if devil fruits were based on emu's power, that would mean that the Nika fruit comes from emu. If the Nika fruit comes from emu, then emu's own creation is going to end up being his own undoing. This is literally JRPG 101. This is JRPG 101 here, man. Will miss silhouette emu after 8 years. Emu's hybrid form is red and huge compared to the giant tower. And devil fruits are based on emu's power. And if that's the case, but then here's my thing. If that is the case, then why is it that fruit users can't swim? What is the connection there between this original ability and why fruit users can't swim? Is it is it similar? Is it similar to why emu can't be in the blob form here in our realm? That fruit users can't be underwater? You feel me? Like, or am I reaching here? Because now that I think about it, if the celestial dragons wear the spacesuit, because there's an effect on the world outside of them obviously not wanting to be impacted by others, due to their stupid, crazy idiocy of not wanting to get dirty from those that live in the living realm, that there's a purpose behind it. There's a purpose behind individuals like Emu wearing this spacesuit, killing them, wearing a spacesuit. Because when they come down here, or somebody like an emu comes down here, it could be a situation where it actually makes them sick, or it makes them... It sort of makes them reach like a different state or something. Maybe even like poisons. I'm not going to say poison, but... Maybe that's why emu was coughing when arriving down here, before transforming. Is that the reason for the spacesuit then? And if that's the case, then could that be connected to why devil fruit users can't go in the water? But then that's also so strange to me. Why? I know there's going to be a fairy tale answer for this, right? I'm going to assume emu finding the original devil fruit, and maybe the Garden of Eden, goes in, eats the fruit of knowledge, right? Then that thing forever curses humanity. On the water side of things, as the fruits become a thing, the contract is made with, what did they say in the mural? Like the sea god or whatever? And thus, that contract, you won't allow people to go into the water. So if that's the case, then... are fruits something that emu controlled so that individuals won't go into the water? Then this is really a pirate manga. Because then that would imply that only individuals who do not eat these fruits can go underwater, which would mean that emu actually wanted people to eat the fruits so that they would go in and potentially drown if something were to happen like that again. And the flood were to take over the world. Right? Then the fruit users can't do anything. All a part of emu's control. The world government creator. the creator of the one world government. This dude Emu's literally the Antichrist, bro. It is so fascinating to me how things thematically match up so well with what we've been shown in Elbaf so far. And the more that it gets unraveled, specifically after the flashback, and now seeing the way that Emu, and especially after that one chapter that really gave us a good look into like the abyss abilities and stuff, and how the contracts give power and whatnot, basically like selling your soul to be able to attain more power or whatever. It really is extremely similar to the fruit idea, right? It is a contract. You eat the fruit, you can no longer swim, but you get a really cool ability. It's very similar to Emu's abyss ability. For them, they trade control. They trade the way that Emu can now control you in certain moments to be able to do his bidding. Whereas with fruits, it's more so about the contract with the water and not being able to freely move about in the ocean. Exactly. It also looked like Emu transformed. When Emu transformed, it hurt. Oh, man. And the thing is, I honestly don't think this is something for all the Celestial Dragons. And you know what this tells me? That only the original, the quote-unquote original, like the actual founders, are the only ones that are affected by this. If this is actually true, what we're discussing here, about this like this spacesuit theory, what this tells you is that those the generations that came after weren't really affected by this. Because look, you see like Doflamingo and a couple of Celestial Dragons who have been able to breathe pretty clearly here on the surface and not be affected, not be sick. So it makes you think, why Emu then? And if it happened to the others as well, why? I'm so fascinated, man. This chapter is a theory haven. This is a hype chapter, but it's also a crazy theory chapter. Shout out to President with the drums of oppression and the Kosh Panda with a silhouette, and the fruits being based on Emu's power. Morgan Irvin comes in with a 10 and says, the Gorosei are concerned about Emu going to the surface, and he's later bleeding from the mouth immediately. Another weakness. So exactly what we're talking about. The only other time was with Joy Boy's hockey when Harold was killed. You're right. So when Harold was killed, Emu felt it. With Joy Boy's hockey, Emu was brought down to his knees. And now with Emu coming to the surface, bleeding from the mouth immediately, man, if that's the case, it's gotta be that then, right? It's gotta be the fact that Emu came down to the surface. The surface itself is poisonous to Emu. Which in and of itself is such an interesting idea to explore. It's like, why? Yeah, that's true. All of the strong celestial dragons don't wear spacesuits. So then why is the strongest one, the creator of the WG, this affected by coming down? I don't know, man. But you know something? That may actually lead into how we survive Emu, you know? Because let's just say Emu's sick, or not sick, but that this world is slowly but surely poisoning Emu, or that the realm, right, that we're in here in Elbaf, where the story takes place outside the Mighty Joa, is like, for lack of a better term, poisonous to Emu. That would mean that Emu can't stay down here for too long, right? And if that's the case, Emu's gonna try to take care of business quickly. So if we can just survive long enough for Emu to go in, then we would be able to leave good. That might actually be how Emu has to go back. Is due to that. But I just don't know, because I don't know if that's what's happening here, you know? How interesting. You know how every One Piece arc has a time limit at the end? How fascinating would it be for this arc's time limit to be Emu? We have to survive Emu until Emu goes back to the flipping Holy Land, dude. Would be a great time limit. And I'd be sweating the entire time. Next chapter, we're gonna see something crazy, dude. We're gonna see something so nuts next chapter. Thank you, Morgan Irvin. I appreciate you. Manu 6 comes in with a 5 and says 3 skulls on his long sash. What is it with the 3 skulls? What does Blackbeard know? The 3 skulls coming from the creator of the WG. And it's specifically on his, like you said, on his sash, on his bandages. Specifically 3 skulls. What does Blackbeard know? What did Rox know? You know, this adds more to Rox's legacy for me. Rox pulled up on this monster in his own house. He pulled up on him in his bedroom, bro. He pulled up on Emu in his bedroom. He pulled up on Emu where Emu plays his PS5. I mean, right down in his lounge. Shout out that entire Davy family, man. So we move in threes, right? And obviously Emu, it looks like the 3 from back in the day is gonna be Davy, Emu, and Nika / Joy Boy. So those 3 together are obviously then coinciding now with Blackbeard, Luffy, and Emu, which is what we already believe is the end game of the story, right? So very interesting connections there, especially with the 3 skulls. Is there a connection between those 2? Who knows? But for me, the 3 skulls is very, very, very clear between Emu and Blackbeard. Instant Messenger Sama comes in 120 and says, if I remember there was an ex-editor of Oda and he basically spilled the beans when it comes to the final battle. Luffy and his friends are going to fight against the devil himself, but then nobody believed it. Well, we believe it now. We believe it now. Because that's literally exactly what's happening here. That is exactly what's happening here. And I think it's an interesting thing to explore with specifically a devil-like individual who is so clearly trying to be God. it is just such a cool exploration of that idea. As somebody who plays a lot of JRPGs, it's not the first time I've seen it, right? Where it's a meme at this point, right? But what I think is so fascinating in this particular perspective is that you're sort of getting the best of both worlds. The best of, the JRPGs where you fight a devil-like thing at the end, and the best of the JRPGs where you fight God at the end. Because what you have here is an individual who is trying so hard to be something that he's so clearly not. Emu with the vows and writing and speaking through like the books and attempting to with so bestowing ability, so many different things, just scream, I'm trying to be God. And at the same time, everything else screams devil. It is such an interesting thing to play with a single character. Normally you would like spread that out between like a couple different characters. But Oda has that dynamic on one character, and it just so happens to be the one character who has been controlling the world from the shadows for the past 1,000 years. It's like, way to go on spilling the beans on reality there, Oda. But it is so... I've enjoyed that aspect of this entire Emu dynamic since the very initial introduction of Emu's character. And especially after the chapter when we saw the arrow that potentially could lead into that situation, right? But once we first saw Emu speak, and then the more we saw from Emu within this arc, it became clearer and clearer the direction we were heading with this character. And I could not be happier because to me, it's going to be such a unique exploration of something that, yes, A, has been done before, but B, it hasn't been done in this kind of way. And especially in an arc that's been so... that's played so much into this type of stuff, I can't wait to see where we go with this. Because it genuinely does fascinate me. Then Marty comes to the 5 and says, I'm just a normal guy who lost his brother's life and found a reincarnation true. Thank you, Recon, for being an open-minded Christian and not a toxic one. Our destinies are and then following super chat says, our destinies are connected. Can't save the world alone. Please meet more about faded letters and watch your videos. And I'm New Masters Art School. Google Pantheism. Well, appreciate you so much, Muddy. And what do you mean by talking to Morge? I mean, I can't wait to talk to my boy Morge again. But I'll definitely elaborate on that whenever you get the opportunity. But thank you so much for that, brother. Then Ashton Samurai Jiro comes with a 5 and says, Emu has the coldest design in the series for me. Only can imagine One Winged Angel playing with the flip. Yo, yes! Flipping the page. I DM'd you a coloring of the Emu shot. Oh, I gotta see that. Where's my phone at? Emu does have one of the coolest designs in the series, though. Oh my god. Yo, Ashton Samurai Jiro, I just saw your thing of you finishing Trails Beyond the Horizon, Peak Fiction. Oh my, bro, you just broke my heart with the... I'm seeing, oh my goodness, and then the other Peak Fiction, too. My boy was experiencing gas. Oh man, look at this coloring of Emu's design. Oh, this is so hard. This is so sick. Dog, Emu has such a crazy... Yo, I just realized through this coloring, Emu's on top of a pyramid too. Oh, to speak to me, man. What? Brother is on top of the clouds, wrapped by a pyramid, sitting on top of that pyramid with the sun behind. Hard. Dude, this image goes so hard. Thank you for sending this, Astro Samurai Jiro. Dang, dude. Goated. Absolutely goated. Man. Elder Vault 5 then comes in. Thank you once again, Ash Samurai. Elder Vault 5 comes in and says, NL looked like he's cosplaying Emu. Oh, snap. Yo, that's so true. The back ring, the back ring, the staff, shirtless, the pants. That's so true. Well, it's always weird that he didn't have the wings. What did he learn on Burka? Oh my, you literally, you just blew my mind so bad, Elderbolt. Oh snap, yes. Everything about NL's design. The back ring, the staff, shirtless, the pants. Yo. And the fact that NL, whatever it is that he learned on Burka or just in general, then also wanted to go to Fairyverse. The moon. Obviously so connected to the first world. What does he know? What do all these villains know? What does Crocodile know that we know we have to get some more information out of? What in the flying Flanders Blackbeard know? What does NL know? Like, bro, what do these characters know? Kaido! After living on Onigashima, which, by the way, the skull on Onigashima looks like one of the skulls that's on Emu's... Like, what do these characters know, man? Elder Vault. Wait. That's insane! He started looking like that and called himself God! Elder Vault! He started looking like that and called himself God, bro! Even with Mantra, literally hearing everybody's conversations, almost their thoughts. In an arc filled with so many references to Endgame One Piece, NL. Oh, NL! NL, my beloved! Oh! NL was cosplaying Emu when Emu was attempting to cosplay God. This is crazy. This is actually insane. Elder Vault, you just blew my mind, man. That is a great comment, dude. Zach Omar comes over for 35 months and says, "Yo, coach, long time, Zach Omar. Hope you're doing well. I'm glad the day. I got your stream as the Emu chapter. What's your take on Emu saying this was inevitable? I think it's going to be a take on sort of what Dragon said in chapter 100, where it's like Emu's take on, you know, with the times. What is it exactly the Dragon says? Like where's my manga volume at? This is like Emu's version of what Dragon says in chapter 100. Where's chapter 100 at? Right here. Or what the narrator says in Dragon's this is what Roger said. My bad. What Roger said. Forgive me. What Roger said. Not Dragon. I just associated with Dragon because of the page. These things cannot be stopped. An inherited strength of will, one's dreams, and the ebb and flow of the ages. As long as people hunger for freedom, these things will exist. And I think it's Emu's version of that. Emu, who has attempted to put a stop to all of these things for all of these years. Emu would know better than anyone that the inevitable was eventually going to pass. After trying everything, after trying to control everything for so long, Emu knows better than anyone that sometimes you can't control everything. You just can't. And so it was going to be inevitable. Because of individuals like Rox, like Whitebeard, like Roger, like Shanks, like Harold, like Loki, like Luffy, like Blackbeard. These individuals inheriting the will of those from the past, their dreams, and the ebb and flow of the ages. Those are the things that cannot be stopped. And I think that is what inevitable means from Emu's side, honestly. But thank you, Zach Omar. Appreciate you. Thanks so much for almost 3 years. Lexi the Sunflower comes in with a 20,000 and says, a monumental moment in the series. The last page is obviously the highlight, but I guarantee that sequence from Emu's memories will get a fantastic treatment in the anime. That's my second favorite moment in the chapter, and it all flows into each other. But I think what's so cool about it is we finally got to see things from Emu's perspective. Those were Emu's memories, as Emu was seeing certain things play out, that if they just got it a little differently, then it could have been avoided. But alas, destiny and fate had their say and had their word in it. And it was so cool to see that from Emu's perspective. For me, it's like whenever you're reading a novel and you go through like everyone's point of view and you finally get the point of view. It's sort of like what we got from what I got recently from Empress Lysine in Malazan. That really stuck out to me, right? It's like you hear about this individual from literally everyone, and then when you finally get to see things from this person's perspective, it's like it's mind blowing. And it was sort of like that for Emu in this chapter as well, right? You see multiple different perspectives from all the other characters, and then finally being able to see it through Emu's perspective and how Emu's looking at the world, how Emu's looking at these characters, how Emu's looking at the sequence of events that are so important to us, from the Marineford and the stuff happening here in the Elbaf stuff, and it's just wild, man. And I love that sequence. I couldn't agree more. Could not agree more, Lexi. Thank you so much for that. Alejandro Solis comes in with a 5 and says, Ancient Kingdom has super tech, and Emu is one of the OG that can use any fruit. Could the Steel Heart have green blood? Summers isn't using his right now on Gerd. The green blood. So Ancient Kingdom definitely with a super tech, and Emu being one of the OGs that can use any fruit with. So, see, now you're bringing technology into this. Because I'll never forget when the Origin of Devil Fruits chapter came out. That's something we talked about for a very long time that night on stream. Is the origin of fruits connected to some futuristic technology we can understand? Which is still a likelihood. But with this week's chapter of One Piece, I just don't know. I just don't know. Unless Oda's doing like a crazy sci-fi story where like he's gonna go with like AI being connected to like devil fruits in a way that's I don't know, right? That'd be super ultra sci-fi, which still could happen. But after this week's chapter in particular, it really feels like it's still in the fantastical elements, honestly. Because if there is a logical explanation from a technological standpoint about what we're seeing right here, I really want to know what it is. I genuinely do. I want to know what type of futuristic technology is causing the heavens to bring down a spellbinding circle and summon Emu. I want to know what technology that is. Is it a teleporter? What are we looking at? But thank you, Alejandro Solis. Presnotics comes with a 2 and says, I say it's the Akuma no Mi mythical type devil. Ooh. So you think there's multiple types? You think there's actual types for this? I like that. That there's going to be another Akuma no Mi? Mythical type devil. So I wonder what the other ones would be like then. I like that theory, President. That's actually really cool. And I could see it because of the mural. I could see all of those being different variations of the Akuma no Mi. Then Fresno follows that up with, it's actually kind of funny. The devil descends from the sky, while the actual gods like Nika have been erased from the world for 800 years. Lo and behold, right? Lo and behold. It definitely is very interesting, isn't it? It is definitely one of my favorite aspects about what we're exploring here with this entire situation, for sure. And it's one of the major highlights of this chapter for me. When I saw that spellbinding circle in the sky, I was like, there's no way. It was like when Kaido descended as a dragon, because it for so many of the fruit reveals, we would see it from like from down below, right, where we would get it in some sort of like crazy format or whatever. But when Kaido was revealed, it was so cool because of the build up and seeing this dude come down from the heavens. In Imu's case, it's clearly been established that every single other character is coming from the bottom. When all 5 Gorosei came down, from the bottom. Shamrock and Gunko, from the bottom. Always from the bottom. Even Imu left the Holy Land through a spellbinding circle on the bottom. And yet, Imu appears on Elbaf in the real Imu state from above, descending. Such a sick visual, and really cool thematically. As the Mr. Sama comes in with a 5 and says, I'm still waiting for a character who has the water Logia. I mean, listen. After what we saw in this week's chapter, y'all know how long we've been thinking about a potential, just a devil fruit, right? Not a variation of it, but just legitimately just something called like a devil fruit that is just that, right? I'm now, especially after this week's chapter, not going to rule out the water Logia. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't throw it out of the realm possibility of the water Logia belonging to someone endgame, like the Man Marked by Flames or something. Having this water Logia that is I think going to be extremely important. I love this. It's like we're going back to the origins of this community with the conversations we're having tonight. This is so cool. Thank you, Mr. Sama. Presno comes in as a splat equals Imu starting to bleed. See last page. So, going off that, because obviously that was brought up earlier. That being blood then adds fuel onto the spacesuit thing we were talking about, and this whole potential time limit for the end of this arc. Because if Imu's spitting out blood right now, who's to say Imu doesn't continue to spit out blood while being down here? Who's to say that isn't what gives us the opportunity to escape? Because I genuinely think we're going to see Imu go flipping ham for the next volume's worth of chapters. But something has to stop that, or the series is coming to an end. Or Dragon has to show up, or Shanks, or one of the top tiers in the verse for us to even stand a chance. And obviously, Luffy and Loki are them, right? And there's 2 of them. But brother, look at what's before us. Look at what's before us, man. So, but I think what is interesting about that too is if Imu has this blood is spitting out blood because of being down here in the human realm, then that would mean that the final battle against Imu has to take place in the sky. And that's always going to be a super cool visual. So I would be down for it just on that premise alone. That non-nerfed, full-powered, no-bleeding Imu is in the Holy Land and or / the sky. And that's where the final battle against Imu takes place, is in the sky. I love that idea. And honestly, we could still see it. Because if Imu to recover goes up to the astral realm or the heaven realm, whatever it's called, and their Imu is at 100%, we could still see it. We could still see it here very, very soon. But it would just depend on how this arc's going to go. Then Time Lord comes in with a 2 and says Imu looks like a form from Endgame Fire Force. Ooh, a Fire Force reference. I need to finish that. I heard it ended recently. Thanks so much, Time Lord, aka Brandon King. Yo, my boy Recon. My boy Recon comes in with some theories and says, with the 3 theories. In my opinion, Emu is weak when descending because he escaped the room of the awakened Opie Opie fruit. Whoa. 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 That's a cool theory. He escaped the room of the awakened Opie Opie fruit. He is not immortal outside of the Mighty Jaw. The 20 each had powers that shaped the world. Emu is the creator of fruits. Someone made hockey. Someone controlled water. Each of the elements of One Piece. Lastly, connection with Zunisha's eyes and Emu. I think that has to do with what we saw in the mural when Emu is controlling Zunisha and Zunisha's apology and Zunisha's sin. All of that has a connection. I strongly believe that to be the case. Strongly believe that to be the case. Especially after this reveal. Good call. Now, in the original 20 each having powers to shape the world, that makes sense to me because once they took out Joy Boy and they were reestablishing, recreating the world from the ground up, literally because the flood destroyed everything, they all needed to have something that could restructure the world to how they saw fit. And if they all had abilities that could do just that, then I could see it. To how it is today, in all facets. But I gotta go back to this idea of escaping the room of the awakened Opie Opie fruit. That is something I never would have thought of in a million years, Regan. That is such a cool idea. I'm in awe of your creativity. That is an awesome idea. That is such a cool idea, bro. I don't even know what to say. Such a cool idea. And would be sick. Would be sick. I know we've been theorizing about the Opie Opie fruit, right? And potentially giving the immortality to these characters. But it being inside of a room, like Emu only being able to be inside of Pangea Castle. Because of that, oh, man. What a cool idea. Excuse me, long day. Long day, and then especially after this chapter, now I'm really drained. Thank you, Recon. Long fun day too, man. I had so much fun today. Both on the job and now here on the channel. Then we have Naruto? No, Maruto. Not Naruto, Maruto. Maruto 608 comes in with 10 gifted memberships. Even more memberships, man. What is that, 290 this stream? Goodness gracious. Thank you so much, Maruto, man. I really do appreciate y'all. Y'all are crazy for all these gifted memberships today. Good lord. This is insane. All love to you, Maruto. Thank you so much for that. Presno comes in with a 5. This is a mortal operation. Having only a certain range would make sense. It would eliminate the fruit's weakness as its minions also live forever. Flower Room OP. Exactly going back into what Recon was talking about. And it would be really, really interesting. Flower Room being the home of the Opie Opie no Mi. Or at least the original quote-unquote room of it. That would then go back to what Doflamingo was talking about on you know, like the hidden treasure of the Holy Land and whatnot being connected to obviously the Opie Opie no Mi. Semester Sama comes in with a 5 and says Emu is basically a fallen orphanim, Angel / Lucy. There are even orphanim eyes in the clouds. Reminds me a lot of the vision that Ezekiel had. Ooh, that's a pull right there, Emu, 100%. 100%. Which is why, like I said, I'm so interested with what Oda's doing here with Endgame One Piece, because there are so many elements that we can directly reference in the Bible, right? And the more we see stuff from this Endgame, the more I'm telling you, we're going to see stuff from like the Book of Revelations, which is obviously their prophecy about the end of the world. And the first thing I thought of when I saw the mural was exactly that. And basically One Piece's version of that. So we're definitely heading down that route. And that's super cool to me. Then Presno comes down with a 5 and says, Zunisha being hit by the Dome reversing the final battle of the past. Joy Boy couldn't bring himself to kill him, hence receiving a mortal wound by Emu. I think the Dome Reversi concept for certain characters still works in that way. Like, I could see Zunisha getting hit by Dome Reversi and that working, right? But after Luffy and Loki denied it, rejected it, I think there's certain characters that just were not Dome Reversi'd, you know? There's just certain characters that are just not going to be Dome Reversi'd in it. And it may have to do with, you know, like the Nika fruit, the Nidhogg fruit, just not accepting it, which that in of itself to me is just extremely interesting. The fact that the fruits can negate / reject Dome Reversi. And it's like, then why? Why are only those fruits able to do that? You know? But yeah, Zunisha being hit by Dome Reversi is the final battle of the past. I can see that genuinely happening. Presno. I really could. Really, really could. Lexi the Sunflower comes in with a 2000. Also, the Akane Munashi anime starts tomorrow. It does? Oh, man. If it starts tomorrow, I'll have to watch that at work. So excited for that. I love Akane Munashi so much. Let's go. Let's flip and go, dude. I actually didn't know it started tomorrow. You just got me so excited. I was already excited for tomorrow anyway. Then Razzie Boy Boy. Let me stand up for a sec. I've been sitting down all day. What a chapter. Razzie Boy Boy. I can't believe we're talking about Emu's real form right now. What if Joy Boy... so this is coming from Razzie Boy Boy. What if Joy Boy... Nika is seen as God. The 20 kings needed the devil to fight God and force-fed Emu devil's fruit to make a vessel. Devil controls Emu's body, making deals with the devil contracts. Continues, I believe once Emu awakened the devil's fruit, he lost himself to the Zoan like the Impel Down guards. Emu calls himself Mu, and Mu is 6 in Japanese. 3 is important in One Piece. Basically, he calls himself yes, that's a good call, Razzie Boy Boy. Yeah, that's the 3 skulls. Yeah, basically calls himself 666. Yes, the mark of the beast. And we already know that's a thing because of the abyss, right? That is a clear reference to the mark of the beast as well. Ooh, that's a Razzie Boy Boy. You cooked. Now, I've always been a fan of the idea of Emu. I already know out of all the characters, this side of Blackbeard, and we were already getting a piece of Blackbeard's past that it already makes him empathetic. Especially the way that post time skip has handled the villains and how villains receive their backstories. There was no doubt in my mind, with Emu's first introduction being in front of a giant straw hat and then balancing the butterfly, that we were going to have an extremely complex character with Emu, who represents the very worst of the One Piece villains, while also it's going to be an extremely, extremely complex character once we get into the nitty-gritty of the Void Sentry. So with that being said, I would not throw it out of the realm of possibility for that to be a thing. For Emu awakening the Devil's Fruit, and then said if fruits really do have a will of their own, as we've been discussing with, the Luffy's fruit, or the Nika fruit evading the Gorosei, and things of that nature, if that is the case, then the Devil's Fruit having a will of its own too, that makes sense to me. Total sense to me. And so, if that's the case, then I think all of that will connect to First World. I think if that's true, then we're talking First World individuals who put their memories or their souls into these fruits, a la AI or human beings trying to achieve immortality by placing their memories and stuff with sci-fi wise instead of chips or cubes or computers to live forever, individuals from the first world put themselves within these fruits and still obviously have a will of their own. So if what you're saying is true, then that would explain that Nika thing of why he was able to evade the Gordo stayed for such a long time. And them having a will of their own. Especially the Zoans having a will of their own. So Razzie Boy, I think that's a great comment, man. Great comment. 100%. And what I think is also interesting about the first part of your comment is, right, is that there's most certainly a lot of individuals who do see Nika as the god of their world. But just as Elbaf has described, there are also individuals who see Nika as the destroyer of their world. Similarly, the celestial dragons clearly see Emu as their god, when the rest of the world there's not even a question about what Emu is to them. Clearly the devil to them. So it's interesting how that's also a play on what was presented earlier in this arc too. SMS or something. Thank you so much, Razzie Boy. That's a great comment. SMS or someone comes with a 10 and says, off topic, I wonder where Roger's gravesite is located. We never get to know what they did with his body. That's a great point. That is a great point. I wonder if that's something that will be explored in Endgame One Piece. Subra, bro, it's so good to see you. That's how you know chapters speak. We got Subra back in here. All up to you, man. Thank you so much, Semester Sama. LJ gonna come in with a 10 and says maybe Emu can do reversing anyone under his huge spell circle, which maybe he did to the houses and trees. But so anything under the spellbinding circle gets away doing reversing even inanimate objects. Ah, LJ, I see. But with a stronger buff on it since he's there to make it harder to convert them back. Yes. Exactly what we were talking about earlier with I strongly believe Summers and my cousin and I were talking about this a few weeks ago, with the possibility of like Emu fighting even before all this in the Gunko state of potentially raising Summers and killing him just by Emu's presence being there, right? And now the actual Emu is here. I most certainly think that's going to happen. And I think that perfectly describes why those houses and things were able, and the trees were able to come to life. I like that. I like that comment a lot. LJ. Then LJ follows that up with plus Zoro and Chopper are the closest ones out of Lost Rod, so it could get them to fight for Emu. If Zoro gets through in reverse, I'm gonna be in pain, dude, because I already know what that's gonna head into. Oh my gosh, man, that's gonna be so crazy. That's gonna be so crazy, dude. Actually, now that you bring that up, that could explain why Luffy and Loki rejected the first Doom Reversi, because now, when one of them still gets Doom Reversi, like let's just say, hypothetically speaking, Loki now actually gets Doom Reversi, that will showcase exactly what you're saying. That Doom Reversi is much stronger because the actual Emu's here. Thank you, LJ. And then Subra comes to membership for 36 months, 3 years. Shout out to my boy. He says, sorry, King, for not being able to be here in the live stream for a long time. Kind of stuck in life. Need to catch up on One Piece 2. How's the chapter? Subra, phenomenal chapter. Absolute peak, dude. I've missed you. I hope you've been well. I completely understand, man. Life always comes first. Definitely hope you can continue moving forward since you're currently stuck. I'll definitely keep you in my prayers. But whenever you get a chance, man, catch up to One Piece, bro. It's been wild. It has been wild, man. So many possibilities, JT Snoop. So many possibilities. One for the ages, Obsidian. Domain expansion, precisely, right? Like a Bankai version of it. You know, what if the reason why celestial dragons? Wait, hold on, this thing. Get over here. Shoot. What if the reason why celestial dragons wear the resin bubbles has to do with why Emu was bleeding? The air is poisonous to him. Like over time, they stopped knowing that it has to do with Emu. You know, to spiral Nika, great name by the way. That's like what we were talking about earlier. That I genuinely think there is a connection there. I really do. Mr. Rubix comes in with a 5 and says, "Do we already talk about the fact that Emu has his own intro song, just like Nika?" Yes, we did. The drums of subjugation for real. Can't wait for the anime to hear it. It was something that I noticed while going back and looking through it, that like they were singing, right? But what fascinated me is whenever Akash Panda brought up the idea that the that Dorara is the Japanese SFX for drums. That to me, that's insane to me, because it just showcases that both Emu and Joy Boy got activated by the same thing in different ways. One under the spellbinding circle, as you know, everything under that spellbinding circle gets turned into this Dorara, right? Whereas Luffy's, he activated, and he was also able to activate stuff like Emmet and whatnot, right? So fascinating stuff, man. It's going good, Superman. I appreciate you, brother. Thanks so much for asking. Yeah, Top Musica was something with music. It is. And Top Musica, obviously known as the Demon Lord, right? So it's interesting how a lot of this stuff is coming into play. We have come a long way from the Twitch gaming to see... Yo, seriously, Vortex, bro. Hope you're doing well as well, brother. See Emu's design. I know, right, man? Just thinking about that in the Twitch gaming side of things. The next big things will be Joy Boy's reveal, Void Sentry, and the One Piece itself. Peak Piece. I'll give you one more, Vortex, that I think is incoming very soon. It's gonna be large and in charge, just like this. I'm telling you, man. Especially after this chapter, I'm thinking we just saw Emu's design. We're not far off from Dragon boxing / abilities. Shanks meeting Luffy. We're not far off from this stuff right now, man. Emu's design just got revealed. People, we're in the end game. We are in the end game. We are in the end game. Oh, yeah, definitely do that, Akash Pan. I will need that. Yo, Mist, seriously, dude. Arguably the best design, bro, for the potential final boss. And you know, Mist, as a fellow JRPG fan, I know you can appreciate this. You always gotta give your final boss multiple forms. He had the blob form, he had the Goonko form, which I mean it's technically possession, but still. And now he has his super raw final form, or if this even is his final form. You know how this is, man. That's how we do it, you know? After reading this chapter, I really think Blackbeard and our dragon didn't full-on attack the Holy Land. Shamrock might have just quelled the Celestial Dragon riots caused by the full shortage. Me too. Kentucky's a heart. I also think the same thing. Once the Garling part of the chapter was brought into play, I was like, I see, right? It makes sense. JD Kurtz comes to the 5. Imagine the Gorosei doing a messed up version of the Nika dance, doing to the drums of subjugation. I wonder which one Akainu would choose. Honestly, the Nika dance. Because Akainu has gone against their will before. And I can see Akainu following Nika before Akainu would follow Emu, personally. By the way, can Recon look at Neron, the DC verse villain devil fits Emu and Nerona is how you would pronounce it in Japanese. Nika really is a child superhero story, and he was the villain. I'll definitely have to look into that. The drums of subjugation, bro. Yeah. Emus and e-girl theories. This is wonderful. Imagine the music of Luffy vs. Emu is similar to Libera Me from Hell. Oh my god. One of the greatest soundtracks ever, by the way, Jordan. I mean, I've always believed Luffy versus Emu is going to be a Gurren Lagann-esque battle for sure. It's going to be a combination of Gurren Lagann and like flipping Looney Tunes. Tetsuya Saw says, look at the size of the emu relative to this castle spire windows. He looks giant-sized. Oh, so giant-sized emu. That actually makes a lot of sense, right? Because they are on Elbaf. So that means he is pretty large. You're right about that. I didn't even think about that. Coach, the anonymous membership at the start was me? Oh, the one that was redacted. Okay, Vortex. And Emu made an executive decision to terminate that super. I was talking about the drums in the chapter, but not the way you think. Oh. Well, shout out to Emu, I suppose, for deleting that, even though I definitely wouldn't have caught that. Who in a million years could have ever caught such a thing? But I appreciate the looking out, I suppose. Thank you so much for that, Vortex. Yo, Eric. What's good, dude? Brother Recon, I finally have an opportunity to do the storyboards and the production. Oh, man, heck yeah, Eric. We love to see it, bro. Let's go. Look at my boy Eric, man. He's moving up in the world, dude. So happy to hear that, Eric, man. Really hope you're doing well as well, bro. The Admiral's being needed for another issue makes me think that the chaos is being caused by so many factions. Tish played his Garp card, and the Admirals was sent to Pirate Island. Yeah, there's probably a lot of stuff going on right now, man. And think about it. Dragon's making his move, now the Holiness have made their move. So they gotta keep an eye on quite a few different things. A lodestar is my arc. Yeah, Elbaf has been so good so far. L. Jacobson with 10 says, I think there's been some Egyptian symbolism used on him, like in the Eye of Horus, 100%, on the hand, plus it looks like he's sitting atop a pyramid, what we were talking about earlier. We were talking about this earlier. Maybe giving hints to some Alabaster Lily backstory, 100%. Not only that, but I think it would be interesting based on the futuristic technology, right? I've always loved the play on the fact that the tombs that are in ancient Egypt look a lot like cryo chambers when you read the like sci-fi stories. And so it's always been a fascinating I wouldn't call it a conspiracy theory. It's just like a cool food for thought on how close a cryo chamber looks like a tomb. So for me, I think it would be so cool for Oda to have a play on that, where in ancient Egypt within the One Piece world is where futuristic technology is absolutely insane. Like, that is where futuristic technology is out of this world, which is where, like, all that stuff, you know, can come into play. And then that would be the connection between an individual like Emu, like we were talking about here with like the Eye of Horus and all those different pieces of symbolism, along with things like that. You know, how they believed they would reach immortality within like the time and the age of the pharaohs, hiding their treasures with themselves because they believed that they could take those treasures with them into the next world. All that stuff could be explored in a pirate series. I think it'd be super cool, right? But thank you so much, LJ. That's a fantastic comment. I do think it is definitely going to give some hints to Alabasta and Lily backstory. I apologize. Oh, this is a Hajime no Ippo shirt, Brandon King. Hajime no Ippo. Updated you on my thoughts on Xenogears, bro. Finished it last week. Let's go. It was truly something special. Started Xenosaga 1 now. Journey Peak continues. So happy you enjoyed Xenogears, brother. Such a special game. Emu was bleeding because he has the can't go to island sickness. Usopp upscale, baby. Usopp upscale. Emu has a sword, massive Mihawk upscale. That's true. That is a good point. Mihawk upscale. Yo, Quag 2, it's good to see you. Look up the Sheikah slate from Breath of the Wild compared to Emu's hand. It has the constellation imagery and everything. So that's the first thing I thought of, Quag 2, was that it was the Sheikah slate. Because it looks more like the Sheikah slate even than the Eye of Horus. And I think that's... And honestly, Quag 2, what have we been talking about this whole arc? We've been talking about the Zelda references, right? This arc, from the Quest Castle to the way this arc started, it feels like there was Legend of Zelda all over it. And now we have the Sheikah slate on the final boss's hand. It's crazy. Wait, Morikawa had surgery? Where'd you see that, Ocean Plan? Did they announce that this week? I've been off social media. I didn't know. Ragnar is the only one who can free the Galila Giants. Ooh, Dawn Island. I forgot about them. Yeah, that's true. Luffy versus Emu is going to hit different now. The white hair, yeah, peak forms. The drums transforming the surroundings. Oof. For both of them. It's going to be so sick. So flippin' sick. I've been reading to read Ippo. It is, without a doubt, since I know we're all One Piece fans in here, it is the type of journey that pays off being in it for a very long time. It is a really special story. Some of my favorite fights ever are in Ippo, and it has some incredibly just sensational character moments. And if you love sports manga, Ippo is one of the very best. And it's going to be a binge of a lifetime too, man. Absolutely love Hajime no Ippo. Not to mention the mysterious masked character with eye covering bandages secretly being a princess. Yep, for real, right? Shout out to Ocarina of Time. Shout out to Ocarina of Time. Literally, though. Shout out Hadrudine and the New Giant Pirates. But they can get packed up for the Emu hype. Listen, for the Emu hype, I'll take anyone getting packed up. And I legitimately would. I would take right now, well, not dying, obviously, but for Emu, I would take anyone being packed up. I don't care who it is. Let the emu hype flow, because this is our best chance. We know we're eventually gonna have to overcome this dude in the final stage. So in Elbaf, let's just see Emu go all out. Let this be the Toguro pre-Dark Tournament moment, where he's just so unbelievably powerful. We're like, how are we ever gonna beat this guy? Let him cook. He's doing alright in rehab now. Abdominal surgery. Chapters are delayed while he recovers. He's on Twitter. He posted a pic of him and his arm and laying in bed. Ah, I see. It's a theory that Emu's a fusion of the original 19. Oh, that would explain actually this design. If he's a fusion of the original 19. Could Emu somehow be physically incomplete? Without the blood of a Nefeltari, if Emu takes Vivi, he will reach his perfected form. Ooh, and that's why he's searching for Vivi. To reach the perfected state, because obviously that's the final one of the original 20 that's not there. Ah, that's actually interesting. That's a good theory, Quag, too. I know we've obviously talked about the Exodia thing before, but the amalgamation of all 20s and needing Vivi specifically for that would add stakes to Vivi's life and to the time limit that Emu would be on. I like that idea. I think Ragnar was used to freeze the Galea and will be freed by it to fight Emu. Even made by Usopp if he can get his hands on the hammer by giving him a giant crew. Ooh, yeah. Him wielding Ragnar, destroying the ice. He would have his own giant crew. Inject it. Yes, sir. Usopp hype. I'd love that. Can we now say that the large dark figure on the far left of the mural is Emu in its full devil form, probably holding the Mother Flame? Yeah, I'd be down for being comfortable with that, especially since Emu's the one fighting Luffy in that in the mural. I'm offering my goat Luffy for the sake of themes and such. Hey, listen, man. I love Luffy with every fiber in my being. That is legitimately, that's my guy. I know he's gonna run it back. You know what I'm saying? So if he has to get packed up for the sake of the emu hype right now, I know my boy's gonna bounce back eventually. So let's get it. Like I said, I don't give a flying flatters who shows up, who's here. If they have to get taken down for the emu hype, for the emu, for to really showcase why this brother has been on top of the world for 1,000 years, I get it. I get it, man. No one's safe from this guy. That Emu flashback sequence in the chapter is Emu's personal top 10 power scaling tier list. My Shirahoshi stocks are soaring to the moon. You know what? That makes a lot of sense because we saw Blackbeard and Luffy last, which is definitely going to be the end game of this series. But I think what's hilarious is the last one, the last one is that he's like Cobra's in his top 10, which is it's just incredible and hilarious to me. Recon, imagine Luffy and Loki get defeated and then Shanks turns up to save them. Listen, bro. If Shanks fights Emu in this arc, there's no doubt in my mind what my favorite One Piece arc is after this. If I see Shanks throw down with Emu in this arc, it's over, son. It is flipping over. It is over. Page with all the heavy hitters made me know that Luffy, Tish, and everyone else. Yeah, man, that was such a great page. Cobra top 10, that's facts. Me and Recon are the two biggest emu servants. We left the OPDF and not protect Mighty Joe. Yo, watch out, Zagi, bro. Hey, listen, man. I'll tell you what, brother. If Emu continues to cook, I mean, I'm always gonna be in Luffy's corner first. But Emu continues to cook. I wouldn't mind putting that second spot up to my dog Emu. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'll always be a Shanks star too. But man, Emu is such a cool design. People have been saying Shanks plotted to lure Emu out with Nika and capturing Loki to Elbaf. Listen, if this is all a part of Shanks' ploy, and oh my god, bro, this arc's already peak. You bring Shanks, because you already know, if Shanks gets brought into the picture, Shamrock's going to get brought into the picture. And then we're really going to be in for some craziness, man. I think Rock, Shanks, Shamrock, Garland, Ryokugyu, and Ridley could have the remaining Supreme Grade blades. That actually makes a lot of sense to me. All of them. Shanks is definitely there. I feel like he never left when he spoke to Loki. Ooh, so you think he's still there? He's going to pop up out of nowhere. Oh my god. And I don't care how Shanks gets here, as long as he gets here. I can't wait to see Emu's personality. We barely know him. His personality is going to shine now that we're going to see him in action. 100%. This is going to be our best opportunity to see, obviously, not just Emu's abilities, but Emu's gags, Emu's gags. That feels so crazy for me to say. Emu's gags. Next chapter, we could see what Emu's gags are, because every One Piece character is a gag. Emu's gags, as well as Emu's personality. And obviously it's going to be post controlling the world for 1,000 years, so it's not going to be the same Emu for the Void Century, but I still think it's going to be super, super interesting as well. Ocean Flan. Shanks wants to take out Barto. He's not on the island at the moment. That is true. That 100% is true. Flipping Yasop one shot of the ship. My guy. Page's flashback started with Rocks and ended with Sun. Second and second last people were Roger and Luffy inherited Will. It's what we're talking about. So I talked about this earlier. Kentucky is hard. I genuinely believe that when Emu was talking about that this is inevitable, it was Emu's version of Roger's speech from the Dragon page, where he was talking like the ebb and flow of the ages, chasing one's dreams. And inherited will, those are the only things that you cannot stop. I believe that this was Emu's version of that. Showcasing all those characters, showcasing how they came into this world, and showcasing who came before them and who currently is here now. Roger and Luffy, right? Rocks and Blackbeard, right? It's like yes. Loki, Shamrock, Gabon, Herald, Zebek, Emu, someone reveals his arc, bro. It's insane. It's actually insane. Eric, that's something I've really loved about Garling since chapter 1125 or 24, when he first became a member of the Gorosei. He's just taking nothing from anyone, and I think that's so wonderful. It's gonna add on to whatever Oda has planned for Garling, because he's obviously the only one out of the Gorosei who's not like just all over for Emu at this point in time. Was in the past in the flashback, but not right now. And I think that's so interesting. How is that going to play into the end game of the story? Emu was so close to 1,000. Sad his reign is only 800 years. We're going to pack him up, bro. Do you think the other 19 had this much gas? I don't think so. I think Emu had the most gas, but I'll tell you. If the other 19 also had this much gas, then how much gas does that put on Joy Boy? That they needed 20 people of this level to box one dude. You remember that panel from I think it was like mid Egghead, mid Vegapunk flashback. It was like chapter 11-14 when it showed Joy Boy fighting against the 20 kings. If the other kings have like half of this gas, that's still insane that it took all 20 to take out this one dude, bro. It's the Master Summon comes with a 5. I hope we get a different form with Luffy than Gear 5 against Emu. Gear 6/0, the cartooniness of it would destroy the tension, in my honest opinion. I think it depends on how it's done. Because we haven't seen serious Gear 5 Luffy in full throttle since the end of Wano. So, because he's currently angry, or he was angry, I think there's an opportunity for serious Gear 5 Luffy versus this version of Emu that brings out the cartoonish elements of each ability, but still allows it to be a very serious battle with a lot of tension because of how similar their abilities are. So, I don't know if there will be if there is another gear or another version of the form. I think it would have to come at the behest of him entering the astral realm or the heaven realm, similar to how Emu changed forms by entering this realm. I could see that happening. But I think Luffy's final form is going to be Gear 5, at least for now. I'll try, Mist. I'll definitely try. 11:15. Thank you, Akash Panda. For sure. No, the peak chapter, bro. No one can 1v2 Nika and Nidhogg. I don't care who you are. I don't know, man. I don't know. Listen, I said the same thing last week, Eric. I said the same thing. But this week, I don't know what we're cooking. I just don't. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're cooking. I genuinely don't. And I'm terrified. But ladies and gentlemen, I do have to be at work in a few hours. So I think what we're going to do is, thank you so much for this incredible discussion. I'm going to have to call it here, though, because I am going to have to get some sleep. But we just experienced one of the most game-changing chapters in the entire series. I think that when we look back on this chapter, it's going to definitely be one of those similar to the mural that we think back on as a chapter that forever changed the course of what we thought was possible within the story. I know this isn't our focus right now, but we're interested in Loki's line in this chapter about the so-called flash freeze that can only be thought by the dealer. Do you remember the Galila shipwright giants from over at Punk Hazard? I now believe it was the Ragnar's original user who preserved them. For when the time comes that the Noah must be... Oh, Quag 2, that's such a great comment. Quag 2, that is such a peak comment. That is such a good comment. Oh, man. Such a good comment. Yes, Quag 2. For the time the Noah rebuilt, it is such a One Piece theory. You cooked so hard, Quag 2. Yes. Yo, Akash Panda with the 100th timestamp. Akash Panda, thank you so much, man. Seriously, you've been such a massive shining light on this channel, man. I really do appreciate the timestamps. Y'all, Emu Peace begins, as Ocean Plan said. I truly appreciate y'all so much for being here, man. We had so much fun. I know we were a day late, and I greatly apologize for that, but we are here. We are here for this peak, man. We are here for this greatness. And I'm so excited for next chapter. Oda made 3 different volume titles named off of Roger's quote. Inherited Will, Volume 16, One's Dream, 24, and The Ebb and Flow of the Ages, 110. What if Oda names this volume off... Oh, the inevitable. Then it would just confirm it. It would just confirm it. But y'all, I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful night, man, wherever y'all are, and or morning. One Piece, man. Just another one of those chapters that make you just so excited to be a fan, right? Game changing. Absolutely game changing. That's what I'm saying, bro. We had 900 plus people one day later. That means so much to me. So much to me, man. And so I will see y'all next time. Thank you so much for watching. Peace. Have a blessed day. Ichiro Oda, man. Holy sweet mother of flag darts, bro. What a chapter. What